Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney Newgart. I am a local realtor in the Phoenix metropolitan area, and I have my dear friend JR here today, and he's going to talk to us about all things foundation and Arizona and taking care of your home. You just introduce yourself to my friends here and just tell them what you do and who you are.
Yeah, I'm JR DeSanto, and we started Gaje Contracting 17 years ago now.
Wow.
So
About when I got into the real estate industry. 18.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit. Our primary focus has been on residential foundation systems, both conventionals and post-tension slab on grade, and a wide variety of any concrete repair. But that's been our main focus is the residential market.
So JR is somebody that I call when my clients go through their inspection period, and we have our general home inspection, and they realize that there might be some issues with the foundation. So JR, you mentioned there's two different kinds of slabs in Arizona. Can you tell us the difference between conventional and post-tension?
A conventional is essentially just an unreinforced slab on grade, and then we have an inverted T, or a footing and stem system around the perimeter. There'd be a monolithic footing underneath of interior partitions that are load bearing, but primarily what we deal with is the stem, is where the main issues are on a conventional. They started in the early 90s, started building with post tension, and the reason that they started post-tension slab on grade is because they tend to withstand pressure from expansive soils a little bit better. They tend to act as the whole slab acts as one. Post-tension is a system where they string half-inch diameter steel cables roughly every 3 or 4 feet in both directions, and then they're tensioned at 33,000 pounds of force, and it holds the whole thing all together as one. So the entire slab acts as one foundation.
Right. Because in Arizona, you started to say expansive soil. So you kind of explain what expansive soil.
Think cat litter. So our soil is just full of clay, like cat litter. And you add water to the box of cat litter, what will happen is it will absorb that moisture and it increases in mass. And that type of pressure underneath of a slab can push that slab upward. And in a conventional, that's a 3.5, 4 inch slab that's unreinforced, it's pretty easy to push that around. It only weighs about 100 to 120 pounds a square foot. So it's pretty easy to move that around. So that's why they went to post tensions, because it holds everything together. Of course, they both have their own sets of problems.
If you could give us 3 tips on how do people care for the foundation of their home?
Let's start talking obvious stuff. Let's put gutters up. Gutter downspouts should be tied into an underground pipe. Get it out to the street. Get it away from the house. We want to stay on top of leaking spigots, irrigation systems. We want good positive slope away from the house. We don't want to plant things like citrus trees and things that require a lot of water close to the house. Just start thinking of keep the cat litter dry.
Yeah, okay. I love it.
So that's if you just keep it simple, and the less moisture around the perimeter, the better off we're going to be as far as corrosion. Better off we're going to be as far as hydrating soils and causing heaving issues and all that sort of thing.
One of the things that I love and hate when we have these conversations and when you get to come out and talk to my clients are some of the crazy things that you have to deal with. Like when you came in this morning, you told me about an issue that just recently happened. Can you tell me 2 stories of like the craziest stories that you've ever heard and you had to deal with in your business?
Yeah, sure. One was just the other day. We had a landscape crew at somebody's house that was doing some demo work to install a trench drain, and they didn't realize it was a post tension. And they were demoing the concrete, and what happened was they compromised the strength of the concrete behind the post tension end anchor plate, and it blew. It it um, it blew about 18 inches of concrete off of the surface of the cable and exposed it. The thing that saved everybody on this little catastrophe was the fact that the hairpin grabbed a hold of it got tied up in the hairpin. The hairpin is a piece of rebar that is installed behind the plate. It's in a loop, and that loop the plate got hung up in it, so it only released about half the pressure.
It could have killed him, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I love hearing these stories, and I'm so grateful that he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But
everybody was really lucky on that one.
Yeah, when these giant pieces of steel that are bound. So what's the pounds per pressure?
They're under 33,000 pounds of force.
Oh my gosh!
So a post tension cable in 100-foot length is pulled and stretched 8 inches, and that requires about 7,000 to 9,000 psi on the hydraulic pump in order to generate that force. Something else to note is the plate's about that big, and in the center of the plate there's 2 steel wedges. So when they're pulling that cable, they're also pushing those wedges inward, and those 2 wedges is what holds that entire strength. Another job we looked at was a front porch on somebody's house that the cable was placed too close to the surface. There was some other issues there as well, with some rebar along the slab edge that corroded. Things got compromised. The wedges corroded to a point that they eroded away, and that cable popped.
That was the one right next to where the kids were playing. Can, in the videos that he was showing, there's chalk and little kids' bike right there. And
fortunately they weren't there when it happened, but it did happen when it blew. The surrounding concrete became shrapnel, crashed into the guy's front window, through his garage wall, and damaged his car. So the point of all this is that is completely 100% preventable,
right?
Just by staying on top of keeping a good coat of paint on your stem or slab edge, keeping the perimeter dry, not letting things corrode to a point that they erode away and self-destruct.
Any other tips that you can give to our viewers today?
To how to not call JR? Well, I think good housekeeping. We tend to, life happens. Mm-hmm. We tend to just keep rocking and rolling with life and forget to pay attention to something simple like your stem wall.
Yeah.
It's critical on both conventionals and post tensions. Post tensions, I'm kind of a little bit on a kick right now, trying to educate people and teach people, hey, you have to pay attention to these things.
Right.
You have to take care of them. You got to make sure you're keeping a good coat of paint on. The first sign of seeing any rust, give us a call. We can get out there. We can take preventative measures for a lot less money than repairing.
Yeah.
Surfacing, treating the face of conventional stem wall or post tension slab edge, I think is critical to make sure that you don't run into costly repairs. As soon as you start seeing paint peeling off, you got to get on it.
Yeah. Is there a special kind of paint that people need to use?
Yeah, it's got to breathe. You don't want to use anything like elastomerics or bitumen modifieds. You don't want to use anything that's going to lock potential salts. Well, so we have a lot of salt in our soil, so you can't lock salt back behind the paint. It just causes more problems. So there's breathable acrylics out there. Most of the good high quality paints. Marquee is the one we like to use. That's from Bear over at Home Depot. It's a breathable paint. It seems to hold up real well on foundation systems.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you taking the time with me.
Thanks.
Good to see you.